For decades, audiences have seen Clint Eastwood as the ultimate symbol of control, calm, composed, and always in command. But now, at 95, his reflections on fellow filmmaker Rob Reiner are revealing a quieter, more thoughtful side of Hollywood that few ever get to see. To the public, Eastwood has always been the lone figure, the man of few words, shaping stories his own way. Reiner, on the other hand, has often been seen as the outspoken storyteller, a director known for warmth, humor, and emotional depth. Two very different personalities, moving through the same industry, building legacies that rarely seem to overlap. But behind the scenes, the story wasn't so distant. Over the years, both men became part of a generation that transformed Hollywood. While they didn't frequently collaborate, they shared something deeper, an understanding of storytelling that went beyond fame or recognition. According to reflections shared in interviews and industry conversations, Eastwood has expressed a quiet respect for Reiner's ability to connect with audiences on a human level. Those who have worked around them often describe an unspoken mutual admiration. Reiner's films, known for their emotional sincerity, stand in contrast to Eastwood's often restrained, minimalist approach. Yet in that contrast, there seems to be a kind of balance, two different philosophies shaping the same art form. In later reflections, Eastwood has hinted at what he sees as one of Reiner's greatest strengths, the courage to tell deeply personal stories without losing authenticity. It's a quality that, according to some insiders, Eastwood came to value more as his own career evolved. Because behind the success, both men experienced the same pressures. Hollywood is an industry that constantly demands reinvention. Styles change. Audiences shift. And even legends must adapt or risk being left behind. Reiner faced moments where his projects didn't land as expected. Eastwood, too, navigated decades of changing trends, moving from westerns to deeply personal dramas. And perhaps that's where the truth begins to emerge. Not as a dramatic revelation, but as a realization. In interviews later in life, Eastwood has spoken about how the industry tests not just talent, but resilience. According to those who have followed his career closely, his perspective on peers like Reiner reflects a deeper understanding of what it takes to endure. It's not just about making great films. It's about surviving the silence between them. Reiner's journey, marked by both critical success and periods of uncertainty, mirrors the reality that even the most respected figures are not immune to doubt. And Eastwood, having lived through similar cycles, appears to recognize that shared experience. For both men, the real challenge was never just success. It was staying true to their voice in an industry that constantly tries to reshape it. And that may be the truth Eastwood has come to express, not about a single person, but about an entire generation of filmmakers. A generation that built careers not on trends, but on instinct. A generation that understood storytelling isn't about control, it's about connection. Now, as Eastwood reflects on decades of filmmaking, his words carry a different kind of weight. Not the authority of a legend, but the perspective of someone who has seen how easily stories can change, both on screen and in life. Because in the end, the real story isn't about Clint Eastwood or Rob Reiner. It's about what it takes to last, to evolve, to remain authentic in a world that rarely stands still. And maybe that's the lesson hidden beneath it all. That true legacy isn't defined by how loudly you're remembered, but by how honestly you tell your story.